Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 335. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
heard.
I want to say.
Oh, well, go ahead, because
we missed last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because
I take care of some business.
Well, I had to take care of some business. Some terrible business of food poisoning.
Oh boy, yeah.
I gotta. we had our holiday party early this year. Again, probably the last year we're going to have it early. Didn't feel so well the next day, or the day after, or the day after. So we everything got shifted a week. We missed last week's episode. We didn't make our spooky Halloween Saturday morning retro show, which should be up now if you're listening to this.
Yeah, a little after the fact, but we made it. We made it.
That
was a great episode. Very excited to do that.
Luigi's Mansion, great game.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors, also good. Also good.
Well, I don't know. Listen to the episode if you think Dave thinks it's good, because
look, it's got some merit to it. All right, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, it's great to be back on the mics again. I'm glad you're not sick anymore. Let me tell you, because I think everybody who's listening, and me included, can relate to having food poisoning, and it's the worst. It's terrible.
It would have been a terrible episode, as I would have been like, Dave, hold it down for a second. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I have to do some extreme editing on that episode.
I love the sound effects. Thanks.
You're welcome.
It sounded just like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But before all of that happened, before the holiday party, before I got sick, I want to say I did see Black Adam.
Okay.
I know you saw it 3 weeks ago. We talked about it.
About a week and a half. Yeah. 2 weeks.
I saw it too. Not gonna spoil anything. I want to say, I don't care what the critics say. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great DC movie. I thought it was a great action DC movie.
So, when you say great DC movie, you have to translate that for the layman. That's a -2 points in the regular movie sphere, right? DC gets a little boost, gets a little pat on the back, because they don't always have the best movies in their universe.
They don't always have the best, but I want to say, listen, I had maybe like 1 or 2 gripes, right, with the movie, and we talked about it before we started. Before we started recording, but I thought it was a great movie for what it was.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I liked it too. I had a good time with it.
And we'll talk about the DC universe in a second. Dave, we have an awesome show this week. Coming up, we're going to talk about the PSVR 2 price and release date finally announced. And could the Xbox Series X be getting a price increase? We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But before we get into any of that, let's begin the show with the DC universe.
Yep.
Looks like we've always said, I mean, even when we started the show, I think early on, we had our own Batman v Superman show.
We had a full, yeah. Yeah, we've done a couple. We did one on Star Wars, did one on the Avenger, I think one of the Avengers, maybe Endgame, and, we also did Batman v Superman.
Yeah, but Batman v Superman was the first. Like, we were like, we have to have an episode just talking about this movie. And the consensus from all the DC movies was there's no one voice. There's no Kevin Feige to, sort of give direction. And even with the TV shows, right? Like, there's no one voice. Everything is just like its own thing.
Sure
I know they tried they tried to bring it all together with like the multiverse in the TV show, right? Michael Keaton showed up as Batman, right? Like, he's from the movies. The guy from Superman Returns came. He reprised his role as like older Superman.
Brandon Routh.
TV show.
Yeah,
that's his name. Okay,
Brandon Routh. Yeah, he was one of the evil exes in Scott Pilgrim.
Interesting. So it looks like DC. Well, it's because of us. We've said it on the show.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
They obviously listened to the show. Yeah.
Full responsibility that they need a voice. They need a Kevin Feige, and it looks like they got one. It looks like they got one. Not Kevin Feige, but the next best thing, James Gunn.
Sure.
He will be the lead in DC films and TV.
James Gunn, if you don't know, helmed the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I believe he's still doing 3.
He's doing the third one. He's doing the third one as well.
And then he's going to be out and officially with DC, so he's cutting ties with Marvel. He's a great director.
He already has his hand in DC. I mean, he did The Suicide Squad.
That's right. They were already trying to like get him to come over, but he wasn't like fully on contract to be like the guy, and now he's kind of crossing party lines. So glad to see that got somebody finally.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can pull it all together, because you're right. If you don't have, and there's so much lore in DC, just as much, if not more so, than Marvel, right? They've been around for ages. Superman's one of the oldest superheroes. Maybe not the first, but I mean, he's up there.
Well, DC has the more notable main superheroes, but I think
for sure.
Like Marvel has a vast array of more they have a large roster.
Yeah. Right. Very, very. There's a wide set of stuff to pull from, and like, if you don't have someone saying, "Okay, here's ultimately what we want to do," right? Kevin Feige, whenever he stepped in or whatnot, even from the initial Incredible Hulk movie, they knew, because at the end of spoilers for a movie in 2007, Christ, the one with Ed Norton. At the end of that movie, Robert Downey Jr. shows up as Tony Stark to, set up the next movie, which then in like Iron Man, I think they set up Thor, right? And that was the thing. And then in Thor, they set up and they just kept going. Captain America or whatever, like they just kept going with it, which is great. Ultimately led up to the Avengers. Took them 5 movies, I think, to get to the Avengers, so just about everybody had their origin story. Hawkeye kind of had an origin story throughout the other movies, like little bits. And then they got there.
It's a little Easter eggs they put in too. Like, I didn't notice this. Somebody said it in a podcast, and I gotta go now rewatch Avengers, Endgame or something. They said there was like an earthquake, but it was like out at sea, right? Like, there was like a little hit to that, but that sort of sets up the Black Panther movie with Atlantis.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And like, the beauty of that is that if you never get around to doing a Black Panther movie or something happens or whatnot,
nobody would notice.
Exactly. It's such a oh no, it was just an aside from all the fighting and what, I don't know, there's a seismic earthquake out in the ocean. It happens.
Well, as a side note, they said, listen, we know Chadwick Boseman passed away. It looks like in the movie everyone is grieving Black Panther, Chadwick's character, right? In the movie, he said the director writer said in the original, before Chadwick passed away, everyone would be grieving, but grieving the 5 years that they lost not being around, seeing how Wakanda you know, was affected by the 5-year loss of, you know, most prominent people, right? Like, you know, Black Panther and some of the other people who probably disappeared, and you know, them trying to stay above water, right? So they would still been grieving. It just would have been a different type of grief.
Right.
So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
Oh,
so,
for
but
sure.
Back to DC. Something else that affected DC. It looks like Henry Cavill is back as Superman, right? Like he's coming back. Not going to spoil how he was revealed, but he's back.
Well,
but it looks like he's out as the Witcher, and one of the reasons why he's out as the Witcher, because he did agree to doing 7 seasons of the Witcher. He only agreed to do the Witcher if they stick to the source material, but it looks like, you know, the writers, from what I hear, what I see, the writers are sort of veering away from sort of the source material, and he's like, I'm doing Superman now. I don't really want to do this, especially if you're not going to stick to the source material, so I'm out.
Yeah. And he was like, I mean, obviously he's a big fan of the games, big fan of the books and all that. Like, he's deep into it. So, I have no qualms with that. You know, it was a great series. I think they did the franchise, or whatever it is, justice in that way. Liam Hemsworth, speaking of Marvel and whatever, Chris Hemsworth's brother. Yeah,
Thor's brother.
Right. The lesser of the Hemsworths, I think. I think he may be bottom tier Hemsworth. Still good, though. He's going to take over as the Witcher, so I wonder how they're going to handle that handoff or whatever.
Not the next season, no. The next season, I think,
season 4
shadowing production. There would still be Henry Cavill, but going forward after that, it will be Thor's brother playing Geralt. So, I think the series is just dead now. To be honest, I think.
Wow!
You remember,
Jesus, you're already throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
Do you think it was made because of Henry Cavill?
Well, Henry Cavill, when they first said they were doing The Witcher, he like went on a campaign to say, I need to play this, right? And it was sort of weird because it was like right when he said he was not doing Superman anymore.
Yeah.
He needed to do something else, and he was like, I gotta play The Witcher. Like I love the books, I love the games, I want to be The Witcher. And he campaigned hard for it, and he got it. We both were like, I don't know how that's gonna be, you know, Superman playing The Witcher.
Right.
And I think he did a great job. And, you know, no offense to Thor's brother, but he's not as jacked as Henry Cavill. And he was big as The Witcher.
Listen.
Really is.
May I present a case? Exhibit A, Wolverine.
CGI?
No, Wolverine. Well, I mean, okay, may I present Exhibit B, CGI, but Exhibit A is Wolverine, right? Hugh Jackman lived up to his name. He was a jacked man at the end of his run in Logan, right? Like, he just keeps getting like bigger and bigger, right? And it kind of works with the character too. When you go back to the original X-Men 2001, the Bryan Singer classic, he was like in shape, right? He was like, you know, fit. Right, he was real fit, and then he just like kept muscling up. So he could do it.
I'm sure he can. It just won't be the same. And
no. It's gonna be different.
Same. I don't. It's hard. I mean, I wish they had a multiverse where he's like a different.
Well, I wonder because like it's The Witcher, but isn't it like you can be a Witcher, which is like a class or a profession? There's not the one. Okay, yeah. So there's not just like one Witcher, right? It's not like the Flash or whatever, right? Granted, there's many Flashes because of the multiverse, but like in that one universe, there's just one dude who is that guy. So there can be multiple Witchers. So I feel like they'll do some sort of handoff with it. He'll be another Witcher, but he will be like the Witcher as far as the story goes. So. I mean, yeah, it's going to be weird. Season 5 may not be that great, but...
Well, they're just going to throw a potion in his face and change his face. he's gonna face a wizard. They're going to throw...
What happened? Yeah, and then just season 5 credits. Oh, God.
Yeah. All right, Dave. Let's get back to video games. As we always try to start the show, but epically fail.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been playing?
Oh, I'm on that Halo Infinite grind. Trying to get my season 2 battle pass all finished out, which I'm not going to make it because there's a new update coming, Dan. There's a winter update coming with a little mini battle pass, which everything in it is going to be free. You don't have to pay money to get like the rest of the stuff in the battle pass. Like typically you get 2 things per level up. One of them is free, one of them requires the battle pass. In this new one, everything's going to be free. It's going to be 50 levels instead of 100, which is awesome. They're giving out a new kill animation, which is nice, coming up real soon. So you just got to log in and play. I believe you get the kill animation. It's great. So looking forward to it. Inching ever so closer to Forge being released. That is when the game ultimately opens up, and infinite levels from the community will just come rushing in. So I'm very excited. So how about you, Dan? What have you been playing?
Well, I'm definitely not playing Halo Infinite.
No, you're not a multiplayer guy. Well, hey, co-op is coming. You ever want to get on and do co-op? I will do co-op.
All right. Can we do co-op campaign? Because I still haven't beat it yet.
Co-op campaign is coming, yeah.
All right. I haven't beat Halo yet, but I have beat Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, wow! You usually you usually wait till the Thanksgiving break, right? The kind of couple days that we have off. You beat it over that weekend.
Around that time, either around that weekend or right before Thanksgiving. Yeah, I beat it. I couldn't wait. I just beat it early, and I got to say, I was very disappointed. I didn't like this campaign at all. I didn't like the campaign. The story was okay. I don't think it was great. You know, spoilers, there will be a Modern Warfare 3.
Shocker. I can't believe everybody survived.
Probably another 2, 3. Like it ended with like a cliffhanger. So
yeah.
There'll probably be Modern Warfare 3, probably 2 years from now.
I hate that they had to reboot the name. Sorry to cut you off because I do want to hear more about it, but because it was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was the first one, and then they dropped the initial numbering, and then they went Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, 3, 4, which had no single player, and that was like its own franchise, just like the other ones, and now they like rebooted the whole thing, and there's characters. I tell me if I'm wrong, but Soap is back in this one, right? He's in Modern Warfare 2? Okay.
Yes. So I don't it's not Call of Duty. Like, to me, this is just my opinion. To me, Call of Duty is, hey, we have a war, even if it's a secret war, right? You got maybe 1 or 2, primarily 1, stealth missions. And the rest is, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, right? You gotta, you got a squad, and you got to get from point A to point B to point C, right? This game had so many solo missions, solo stealth missions, and they had missions where like I had to hijack a car, and now we doing road rage, and I'm driving a car, leaning out, shooting. Not what they do. It wasn't done. I didn't think it was great. And then they had some stealth missions where I had no gun, and I had to craft. I had to find materials and craft and sneak around. And that drove me nuts, and I couldn't wait to get out of it. And
right.
I got to be honest, when I was done with that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm so happy I was done with it. And they brought it back towards the end. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I get they're wanting to break up the shooting with kind of other things, but it seems like they didn't hit the mark on it.
And then, I got real excited like towards the end where it was, okay, you have a helicopter, that's following your squad, and you can, give it points to where you need it to shoot and hit missiles, right? When there's a place where it's like so many enemies you can't really get through, you need help. I was like, yes, now we're back to this is the Call of Duty I know. And then it's like, okay, Dan, you have to battle a tank by yourself. Okay, that's it. All right, you're by yourself, and you got to battle a tank.
Oh my god.
And that drove me nuts. And I'll tell you why it drove me nuts. Throughout the game, when you have a squad or it's just you and someone else, the AI for your, for your squad or the other guy that's helping your partner, they kill other NPCs, right? They help you. This guy's with me for the tank battle, and he's just like, I'm gonna stay here. You go find the C4 and you destroy that tank. Why are you here? Why are you here then? Why are you here? Why did you jump over the wall with me? What's the point of you being here if you're not gonna help me like you just helped me? You just got to helping me before, and now we jumped over the wall, there's a tank, and you're just gonna sit here and do nothing.
Right.
That drove me nuts. It should have been, the tank blew up the wall and you fell over here and now I'm by myself. Okay. Right? Like that. Okay. Now that makes sense. But you're just going to stand here while the tank is killing me? He's not even coming after you? Oh, I wanted to bang my controller. I swear.
Tell me you made it
My
through
gamer
okay
grief.
there, right?
My game. Oh, yeah. I beat it. I beat the game. I beat the game.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, and you played it on Xbox or
PlayStation.
Oh,
One last
well,
hurrah. One last hurrah.
Man, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other
yeah.
thing.
Well,
you typically play first-person shooters on Xbox. What's going on?
I do, but I wanted to do. Why? Sometimes I alternate. Like if I bought it on Xbox like 2 years in a row, I'll buy them the PS4.
Okay.
Right.
Equal opportunity. I get it. I support that.
But I gamer grief. Just stick to what you know. Don't try to change it up too much because you're changing it up for the sake of changing.
So
that's not called. It's more of like a battlefield. I expect it from Battlefield to bring, hey, we're shooting and now we're sneaking and now you got a tank battle, which I hate, but I hated it in Battlefield 4. I think it was Battlefield 4. That tank battle drove me nuts.
Right.
So
if you had to give it, a score, what would you give it?
6
out of 10. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Last year was way better. Vanguard was way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Vanguard was last year.
So, all right, I've been playing that. I've been playing Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope on my Switch. Game is great. Right? It's a great game. I like the whole jumping. I can. Hey, I want to get over here. Partner up, jump. And fly to this section over here. Love that part. Definitely have to get back into that game. Been playing a lot of Bayonetta 3.
Okay.
By the way, Bayonetta 3, awesome game.
Yeah.
Also awesome. It drives me nuts with the big, like you have it's like Power Rangers. You have like your big monster or mech that you can control.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like a Megazord. Yeah.
Yeah, like Voltron. Come on, you're that. I know Power Rangers is a little bit past, but
Voltron much better. Yeah, although it's the same Sentai-ness out of it all. But yeah.
You get to control like big monsters for a limited amount of time, and you're vulnerable. So as soon as you get hit, the monsters disappear. So you have to be careful on how you use it, right? Because you're like all powerful. If that's the case, I would never just fight regularly. I would just have the monster fight for me. They have these sections. As soon as you get the monster, you have to hit certain point. You have to use the monster and whatever special ability it has to hit certain points, so you can get through to the next section. And I thought that was so unnecessary and just took me out. It just took me out of it. Let me just use them to kill enemies. I mean, you already took the almighty power away from it, right? Because I can only use it for a certain amount of time and I'm vulnerable. Just leave it at that. Like, I hate the fact that they made this extra step because they want to show off or give a reason why you have them.
Right.
It was just so unnecessary. And I've also been playing a little bit more of Gotham Knights and New Tales of Borderlands.
Okay.
For the Xbox Series X, but I played a little bit of those. I've been playing more. Had to beat Call of Duty, which took me like 10 hours, and Bayonetta 3. Most of my time.
I would hope so. Those are the better of the games.
No, New Borderlands.
All right. Well, it's really just Gotham Knights.
Yeah,
Gotham Knights, bottom of the barrel.
Okay. I'll admit that. It is.
Come on. Out of like those 5 games, come on now.
So, all right. With that being said, Well, we take a break. When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week.
Yep.
And we're back. All right, Dave. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week, and we have to start with the PSVR 2 price and release date finally announced. It's officially coming out February 22nd of next year, and it'll be $549.99.
Oh, hold up. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming.
God.
Wow, that
dramatic.
That was dramatic. A shot to the heart attack. I'm sorry, I just turned into Red Sanford right there. That's a throwback for your older fans. I'm sorry, that was a little bit of a heart attack right there.
I don't think anybody who's listening even knows what you're talking.
You know Sanford and Son. Come on now.
I know.
You'd always have a heart attack or pretend to have a heart attack.
I know.
Whenever you heard some bad news, right, or there was some shit going down.
Well,
$549.
I don't think it's necessarily bad news. I thought it would be even 600. I thought because of everybody said it was a jump in like the technology in this, and it was like just supremely better than the first one.
Right.
I knew it would be more expensive, and I think they wanted to price it at $49.99, but with the chip shortage and everything going up,
$449. You mean?
No, well, I thought it would be $4.99.
$499, right? $500.
$500. Yeah.
So
I think they really wanted to price it at $500, but because of the chip shortage and prices going up for supplies, I think they went up $50. And keep in mind, when the PSVR 1 came out, it was what, $399, right?
I was just gonna say it was the same price as the PlayStation 4. It was $400 and $400.
But that price was a little bit skewed because it didn't come with any Move controllers or a game or anything like that, or the Eye.
Well,
so you had to buy that separately unless you bought the bundle.
Oh, that's right.
More.
Yeah. So, well, wait. Didn't the like the base $400 didn't that come with VR Worlds, or am I wrong about that?
It did come with a demo.
Okay. So you got a little tech demo. Yeah.
You got the demos, but you didn't have any Move controllers or the camera, which you needed the camera. Yep. Right. You needed the camera. So you had to buy extra stuff that could push the price, up to $500. Right. So in this is awesome because they don't do that. They give you everything that you need to proceed. We don't know if you're getting any demo disc. They should have a demo disc.
I would hope something. Yeah. Because you're not getting Horizon Call of the Wild or whatever is not coming in the box, which I think
coming in a box.
I think it should have a
bundle, but they do have a bundle for $600. So that makes me think that PSVR games are going to be $50.
Right.
Because this is $50. They're not going to give physical. It's going to be a digital code.
Yeah.
Which also makes me wonder if we're going to get any physical games for PSVR 2.
Oh, I sure hope so. I think they'll do physicals. Yeah. I mean, for like the games that you can play in VR that aren't VR specific, they will definitely have physicals for those at least.
But this comes with two controllers, VR controllers, right? So you don't have to buy anything extra. You don't need the PlayStation camera,
right?
At all, right?
Tracking is on the headset. Headset has the cameras, which is awesome. Well, I guess that's considered inside-out tracking, right? You're like tracking from where you are outwards as opposed to cameras looking inwards. Which definitely has its benefits for many reasons. One being you don't have to wire up cameras all around the room, right? Like some of the older headsets have. And also going back to the price, the PSVR came out, 2016 maybe? It was 4 years past. We just had an inflation bump here in America. We have the chip shortage, and you're getting more hardware in the box. Then the price kind of makes sense, given that this is not an entry-level VR system anymore. This is a pretty substantial VR system, right? So it's going to be in line with some of the other ones. Maybe not as good as a MetaQuest Pro or like the MetaQuest 3 that's coming out, but definitely up there. Like, it's really got some good specs on it.
Good question. So. When was the last like gaming system that was like an odd, like a number like this, like you know, like this is 550, right? Like, when's the last like gaming system that wasn't like an even like $500, $600, $200, $100, right? Because I remember the Genesis being like $189, not even $200. It was like $189.
Yeah, and it kept having price drops, so it went down to $150, $129. Eventually, it settled at $100 to compete with the Super Nintendo.
So, like, when was the last system that like had like a weird number like this for a price?
Jesus, I don't know. PlayStation was $299. GameCube was $199. Xbox was $299. Dreamcast was $199, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's, you got to go back. You got to go back to the, maybe the 32-bit era. I'm sure there was some system that had a wacky price.
So, like, all right, so. I'm probably gonna try to get the bundle for Horizon. Call it a mountain. Pre-orders go live November 15th, right? And they're also gonna sell a PS5 USB port sort of docking station.
Dock. Yeah,
for like $50. So that's gonna. I'm definitely gonna pick that up too.
Right.
I just hope we're able to pick this up. But I think again. I said it a couple of weeks ago that they're ramping up production of the PS5 and maybe a PS5 Slim.
Yeah,
because they want to sell 3 million next year, right? And they want them to be in stores. So I think this is one of the reasons why, because they want to have hopefully a high attach rate between when it releases in next holiday season, right? Because I think only 5%. They only had a 5% attach rate of the original PSVR with the PS4.
Right.
But I think that number is a little skewed because the PS4 is sold like over 100 million copies. It's like the second highest selling console of all time. So, with only like, 5 million PSVRs out there, that number is a little skewed.
Right. So, apparently PlayStation 5 sold over 20 million units so far.
Yes.
As of, this says as of June. 20 million units, so obviously over that. I thought it would have been much less. I don't know. I just thought it would have been much less. But that makes sense.
So they're gonna have, I think, 11 games at launch, right? With Horizon Call It a Mountain, which I can't wait. That's like their killer app.
Yep.
Then you got the Dark Pictures Switchback VR. I'm not gonna go over all 11, by the way. I'm just gonna pick out a few standouts. The Dark Pictures Switchback VR, Crossfire Sierra Squad, so that's the sequel to the original game. The Light Brigade, Hello Neighbors Search and Rescue, Jurassic World Aftermath Collection. That one was an interesting one to keep out for. Pistol Whip VR, and Zenith: The Last City. So like those are the games that I picked out that I thought were cool looking, like first person. Interesting puzzle games.
Yep. You know what I don't see in there? Wipeout. Come on now.
Come on.
I know.
They gotta have something for next holiday. Come on.
Oh my God. I love what they did with the Omega Collection, putting in VR support. It was amazing. Now with the PS5 and the new PSVR 2. Come on, Sony. Make it happen. It's an in-house property. Get another Wipeout game in there. Put all the awesome techno music in there. Oh my God, it's gonna happen. There's at least a 50 to 75% chance that they're working on something. I can almost guarantee.
Wow.
I think so. They've never supported it. Yeah.
Well, if you're about to have a heart attack at the price for the PSVR, and okay, you may have a heart attack at the price of the next. Well, of Xbox Series X next year. Phil Spencer.
There we go.
Recently said that hardware or subscription prices need to be raised at some point, just not this holiday. So it looks like Microsoft isn't it's also going to be affected by the chip shortage and supply shortages.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Sony got roasted for raising the price in certain regions. They didn't do it everywhere. Certain regions got a 5%. It was 5%, right? 5%.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it. You don't meet the sales numbers, the projections, the whatever else. Can't put enough units out there. So a lot of R&D that goes into these consoles, right?
I don't think that Series X per se will get a price increase, but I 100% think that the subscription Games Pass will go up a couple of bucks.
Oh yeah,
I think Games Pass will go up a couple of dollars. It'd probably be like $16.99 or something like that. I don't know, $2 or $3 it'll go up.
So I was having a little side story. I was having a conversation on our Twitter account with somebody was talking about Netflix and how their base tier is going to be ad supported, but you also have to pay for it, right? It's like $8 a month or whatever. And I think they were talking about some other subscription service and whatnot. And then somebody mentioned but you can get Apple TV for $5. And I said Netflix online streaming was like $8. The Netflix home DVD subscription was like $8 when it first came out, and now look at what the price is. And the guy like clapped back and he was like, oh yeah, but they're like subsidizing this like price, and they have all their other stuff that will get people. This is just a way to get people into the Apple ecosystem, right? They want to keep the price low and whatnot. And like literally 2 days later, Apple announces they're increasing the price of Apple TV. I mean, it's expensive to put all these shows out, right? They have to up the price. It's never going to stay at the really good price for a long while, and then it gets to a point where people won't see value in it anymore because they're not putting out good shows anymore, and then everyone leaves, much like Netflix, right? Netflix is not really doing that well in the streaming universe, but
so Sony, there's rumors that Sony are going to put out like a PlayStation PS5 Slim, right? System just to help with manufacturing costs.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I think Xbox not necessarily going to put out I think they're going to put out like a all digital Series X Slim version, only because they're it's not really a part of the story. I don't want to like get too much into it, but a lot of games are saying that the Series S, right, the all digital version, which is not as powerful as the Series X, is sort of holding back this generation of games, because you have to make it work on there first before it can work on the Series X and PS5.
Well, I think that and Microsoft's statement, Phil Spencer's statement, saying that like all games are going to be cross-compatible for however long. Yeah, both those things. Yeah.
So I think we'll get. I do think we'll get like a slim version of the Series X, but it'll be an all digital version, right? So it would replace the Series S, because at some point I think that Series S is going to be obsolete, and they're going to say, we're not selling it anymore. Here's a slimmer version of the Series X, right? Just all digital, and this will be our all digital model if you want, right? You can get a Series X, if you want to play with disc, but if you don't, if you want a digital version, this is it, and it'll be $100 cheaper.
I mean, it's
$150.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're definitely coming up on that mid-generation refresh. They always put out, Sony did it with the PS3, PS4, and Xbox had their Pros, right? And then they always do like the slim model, right? There was that PS4 Slim that only had the like the 2 slices of bread as opposed to 3.
Yeah. All right. Let's shift gears to actual video games, and let's get excited about the future, right? We talked.
Let's get excited.
We talked about the consoles. Let's get excited about the future. It looks like EA and Marvel have inked a 3-game deal. Okay. That will include a new Iron Man game.
I'm about it.
So they announced a new Iron Man game, but there's already been a Black Panther project sort of like rumored that's in the works, right? So those are the 2 games. Giant Bomb sort of broke the story that the two of the 3 games is Iron Man and Black Panther.
Yeah.
They have no idea what the 3rd game is going to be as of yet.
All right. So I'm about this, not because it's Iron Man, because like we've had Iron Man games, we've had Iron Man VR, right? We've had Iron Man 1 and 2.
Which
maybe
is terrible,
even
by the way.
maybe even a third one.
Terrible.
Oh yeah, no,
Iron
they're
Man
all
VR
not
is
great.
terrible.
They're all not
I'm
great.
saying Iron Man VR is terrible.
Yeah, because they're all beholden to the release of the movie because people can't think for themselves and like they have to like follow the hype train and go, oh, here's the thing that I just saw. I'm gonna get the $60 game for it, and also they waste all the budget on the license. It's terrible.
Well, Iron Man VR had no tie-in to the movie, but the original that Iron Man game that came out for PS3 and 360, that sort of had a tie-in with the original movie.
Yeah, and they're never great. You know, GoldenEye being one of the sole exceptions. But that came out 2 years after GoldenEye came out, right? Came out in like 97. So I'm excited for these games, not just because it's Iron Man, not beholden to a movie release, right? Same with Black Panther. Maybe it'll follow the story events, maybe it won't. Don't care. I love the character and the concept and what they can do. So,
well, let me ask you this. Let me take it from another angle. We know we're getting Iron Man, getting Black Panther. What do you think should be the third game? I still think that game is going to be a mobile game because that they have, or I think the game they're going to do a mobile game. But what would you want to see that third game be?
Oh, wait, you think the third game is not going to be a AAA game, but a portable on the go?
I mean, it didn't say, hey, they inked a 3-game AAA console game. They inked a 3-game deal. I think the next game, the third game, would probably be like a mobile game, like a mobile gacha game, so they can make $1 billion off of it, right? But what would you want the third game to be? Not what you think it's going to be. What do you want it to be?
Easy. You remember how good the Hulk game was on the PlayStation 2, Xbox era, GameCube era.
Yeah.
That Hulk game, a little bit open world. You play as the Hulk, and you could do everything. You could pick up cars and chuck them. You could slam people together. You could climb buildings, right? They really empowered you to be the Hulk, and it was great. Such a good game. Storyline was great. All of that. Bring them back. Right, modern graphics, whatever, like, same concept, Hulk goes Hulk on, New York City or whatever, or Chicago or whatever. Put him in a big city. That's easy. Give me a Hulk.
Okay.
Cause it's been a while, right? It's been a while since we've had a Hulk game.
That's true. Oh, yeah, no, I can see that happening.
Right.
You know what I want? I want either. I'm gonna take a different approach. I want either Daredevil game.
Okay.
Daredevil game.
Sure.
Or you know what? Screw it. Just give me a better Thor game, Thor than what we had.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That game sucked.
Sure.
That game sucked.
I mean, honestly, like all of that, great. I'd even take an Ant-Man game. I'd take a Hawkeye game. What the hell?
Yeah.
They're all good in their own ways, like, as like superhero characters. They all have interesting stuff that translates well into a video game. Like Doctor Strange? Come on now.
Wait. I got it. It should be Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you can switch between the two characters and you can play co-op.
Also a great idea. I would take any of these. Yeah, there's so much money on the table here. All right.
There you go.
You just got to get the license, put it behind a good studio, right? Because we know we have the Wolverine game coming, right, from the Sony side of things, which I think is going to be awesome, right? From Sucker Punch, I think. So that's going to be awesome. Then we get the full Iron Man game. We get the Black Panther game eventually. It's going to be great.
Come on, Respawn. Respawn. Respawn could do a Doctor Strange game. They did Jedi Fallen Order, right?
That's right. Which essentially Doctor Strange is.
Yeah, with the Jedi power. Yeah, they can do Doctor Strange with the Jedi power. Come on.
That's right.
I can see that happening. Right. All right, let's go a little. All right, let's shift gears and go retro. Okay, it's Atari's 50th anniversary.
Okay.
All right, so I know you were 20 when Atari came out, so so the math works.
Yes, okay? yes. We know that I was 20 when Atari came out. We know Dan is bad at math. Yes.
it's part of, and we said that they're going to put out like a collection of games like, from their 50-year history. They've just now they've told us that they were going to include a total of 9 Atari Jaguar games in the 100 games that they're going to put out collection. And some of these games are worth a little bit of money. The Atari Karts, which is sort of their answer to Super Mario Kart. That game is up there in price. That game is really expensive, actually. And I think, I could be wrong, I think that's one of the better games on a Jaguar, which isn't saying much. By the way.
Right.
So they got that. They got Atari Karts, Club Drive, Cybermorph, which is like the easiest, it's the easiest game to get. It's the cheapest game to get.
Right.
Jaguar, and Cybermorph sucks, by the way.
Oh no, Cybermorph is terrible with the little head that talks to you.
Yeah.
Nope.
Evolution, Dino Dudes, Fight for Life, Missile Command 3D. You got Pinball, Tempest 2000, which is some people.
Tempest 2000 is good. Game.
Yeah. So, what do you think about these games?
I mean, I was just pulling up the list too to see what was even on the system. There's not a lot. You don't have to scroll very far to see, especially in North America. I mean, am I going to get it? Yes. I want to play all these games. I never had a Jaguar. Still don't have a Jaguar. I have a
Jaguar. Got it a long time ago.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know if I've ever played a Jaguar, period, to be honest. So, interesting. I would love Alien versus Predator, but that's tied to the license, so they won't be able to do that unless they pay a lot of money. In all honesty, okay. I can't get super hype about it. Yes, I'm going to buy it, going to play it out of curiosity, but there wasn't a lot of great stuff on this system.
Come on, it was 64 bits. Or was it 64 bits or was it like 84 bits?
It was, no. It was two 32-bit coprocessors that ran side by side, so they called it 64-bit, but it wasn't truly 64-bit. But if you added them up, if you did the math, like they said in the commercial.
Yeah, come on, if you did the math, add it up. All right, this is 16-bit, this is 8-bit, all right, this is 32-bit, this is 64 bits.
Uh-huh.
All right, before the N64. There you go.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about Kojima. Right? Recently on an episode of his podcast, which, weirdly enough, you remember, like, was it the Game Awards, the Tokyo Game Show? It was like Kojima showed up and it was like, yeah, guess what? I have a podcast. And that was it. There was like no new game announcement.
Yep.
Like, I got a podcast.
Yep. That's what we get.
He said every day he's approached with offers with ridiculous amounts of money to buy a studio. And, after working at Konami for so long and having the freedom to do sort of like create what he wants to create, he said he doesn't think he'll ever sell Kojima Productions as long as he's making games.
No. Why, like, would he? He got out to have the freedom. And now to, like, come back, like, no matter what, even if it's like Sony, which would be the studio or the company to put down the money and say, make the games exclusive for us, which would be a great win for them. And I think the best fit out of any, I mean, I guess Microsoft would probably give him its due and all that too. But why? He's good enough to where he's got great ideas. They may not always land with consumers. In the case of Death Stranding, it was very polarizing of a game. But he's got great ideas. He's got a huge studio now. Sometimes he'll need somebody to fund his games, but it won't be hard to get someone to put up money and say, okay, we will fund your game. You can make an awesome game for it. So there's not really any sort of benefit for him, partying up with the studio and being under their umbrella fully. So
well, he doesn't. He can go anywhere he wants. All right, like he can work with anybody he wants.
Yeah,
he doesn't have anybody telling him what to do. He can easily. I mean, look, he did an exclusive game with PlayStation, right? And now he's working on an exclusive game for Xbox, right?
Yep.
And after that, he could be working on an exclusive game for the Switch or the Switch 2 or the Super Switch or whatever the next console for Nintendo.
Imagine if Hideo Kojima makes Luigi's Mansion 4. Think about how effed that game would be. But everyone would buy it.
He wouldn't have the poltergust. He would have the thing from Death Stranding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The little, like, signifier.
It tells him where the ghosts are.
He has a little baby Mario sitting on his chest. Right? Yeah. Oh, my God.
He doesn't vacuum the ghost, and he has to run from the ghost or stay silent so they don't know he's there. Come on. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
So and then the Switch HD Rumble, we haven't heard that term.
Oh my God. Yeah, they basically like dropped that feature for sure.
Well, they dropped the term. I think it's still, it still rumbles, right? That HD Rumble. You could feel the ghost getting close to you, right? Like, that makes sense. So, all right. Last on the docket, let's talk about Jordan Peele. Okay. Another horror person who's super creative. Loved the last movie that came out, Nope. Because
I have not seen Nope yet. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Put it this way. If you saw some crazy stuff happening, and it's coming at you, you're like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah. It's great.
That's exactly what this is.
That's great.
He made an appearance on a Kojima podcast recently. Funny enough.
I feel like they would be. I'm gonna have to listen to that because I feel like they would be fans of each other for sure.
But in an interview, they would ask, "Hey, you are on Kojima's podcast, an episode of Kojima's podcast. Would you be interested in working on a game?" And he said, "Absolutely. He would love actually to do a game because he thinks it's a different type of creative space."
Yep.
Along those lines, and I would love to see him and Kojima work together on like a horror game, and it could be Luigi's Mansion 4. And
it could
instead of saying Mario, he says, "Nope."
I feel like if he wants to do it, he's going to try and pursue it, and I don't think he's going to have a hard time. It's probably not going to be with Kojima, but I don't think he's going to have a hard time finding a studio that would be willing to build his idea out, right? You'd have to get some funding somewhere, along the lines, but he's a horror movie. He's a modern horror movie god, I think, at this point. He's got 3 movies. Us, maybe the weakest of the bunch, apparently, but he's got at least 3 horror movies, plus all his, Key and Peele pedigree.
I like
Sure.
I really like this.
Yeah. So he's got some credits to his name. I think he can make it work. And if he's saying he wants to do it, I feel like he's the kind of guy that would follow through in it. So that'd be kind of awesome. I would definitely want to see what he could do in that space. And obviously it's going to be a horror game. I mean, no doubt about it.
I could definitely see that too.
All
right, Dave. Well, go ahead.
I do just have to say I spent a second looking up Death Stranding, Luigi's Mansion mashup artwork. It exists, Dan.
Wow.
Rule 34 is in effect. You can get yourself a t-shirt of Luigi in the suit that Porter Bridges wears with the little baby, and it's the Mario and the little baby, and he's got the little thing, like you said, the little sensor, and there's all the ghosts around him.
Nice.
It's amazing. I'm gonna send you this once we're done.
All right. Well, we're done, Dave. That's it. That's all I have in the docket.
Okay.
You got any good weekend plans?
Man, this is the first weekend I get to relax, so I think I'm gonna go back and play some Cyberpunk. All right. There's been a lot of updates. I go back into it every now and again and try and play and fall off again and whatnot. So I'm gonna definitely spend some time this weekend, get back into it, finish that story, and probably start watching that Netrunner show, right? The Cyberpunk Netrunners, which is apparently pretty good. So,
okay.
How about you?
I'm probably gonna get back into Bayonetta 3. I feel like I'm halfway through it. Right? Like it's a little long, and that just the whole when you get the the big monsters which you can use, like that drove me nuts. And I'm like at that point. I have the frog, the big monster frog, and I'm at that point where you got to do the thing for the frog. I guess you got to hop around. Don't want to do that, so I took a break from it, but I'll get back into it now. Now that I beat Call of Duty. Actually, no. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no. I am going to get back into Bayonetta. Why? Because God of War is next week.
That's right. God of War is next Tuesday, I think. So.
No, God of War is next Wednesday. God of War is next Wednesday.
Wednesday. Sorry.
Sonic Frontiers is out when this show drops on Tuesday.
Right. That's going to be Sonic Tuesday again. Oh.
Sonic Tuesday. Yeah, and I'm probably going to spend one day playing Sonic, which is on Tuesday when I get it, and then the next foreseeable future is going to be God of War and all God of War.
Nice.
So that's it.
Love it. All right, good deal. Well, that is episode 335 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.